come back here. But I can't see you.
Oh, there you go.
So the Dalai Lama was in town
Yes.
a couple of weeks ago at UCSD, and he had a singular message he said over and over again, which is clear mind, kind heart, and take action. Clear mind, kind heart, and take action. And he just basically said this over and over. And of course, what he kept emphasizing more than anything, from my view, was kind heart, kind heart, kind heart. Of course, we know that's a challenge. And the idea that to create change in the world, that the education systems needed to change for children to learn about their emotions. Yeah. And that too he emphasized over and over again. So it was kind of interesting because, I was expecting something, whatever, ethereal, spiritual, whatever. And he's just the education and children. And so he's aware that this idea that emotions somehow have a key in life to change things. And he's very much into also science and spirit and where the two connect. Now, I'm sure if Dr. Peter Levine could have a talk with the Dalai Lama, which who knows, maybe he will someday, that Peter would talk to him about the neural patterns that happen with emotions. There is an interesting thing he wrote in an unspoken voice. There's a line, and I think it was actually from William James Sherrington, but I don't think I have that right, because there's William James. Anyways, in any case, it's not I'm afraid, so I run from the bear. It's because I run from the bear, I am afraid. That means then that the body informs the brain sometimes more than the brain informs the body. And so it's hard to say, which one does it really begin with in any case, because I think all of these things are more non-localized or more circular patterns than they are some kind of linear thing, if this then that. And so the idea then is that in this moving towards this circular pattern is that not only can the brain inform the body in terms of like mindfulness and giving it directions and stuff, but the body informs the brain. I run, and therefore I know I'm afraid because I run. And they found this actually, and done studies actually in gambling and playing poker, that it's the people's bodies are making pre-motor movements prior to even a card being picked. It's almost like their body knows what the card is going to be coming up. Also in craniosacral therapy, when we're treating people whose bodies have been shut down, we work with the body directly rather than the emotions or verbal cognition in order to help bring them back to balance. So there's another study that was done where they put, in order to sort of check this out, they checked people's mood levels before and after, and there was a control group and then there was the study group, and the study group put a rose between their mouth. So basically what it did was make their smile muscles engage, and sure enough, the people who had the rose flower in between their teeth probably wasn't the rose, so they could have put a pencil in, right? And maybe it was a pencil. Their mood increased. So if you just turn up the corners of your mouth right now, then you notice something happens, doesn't it? Okay. What do you feel with that?
Like a lifting tickle for me.
Like a lifting tickle. Yes. Yeah. What else?
I see other people flying the circle and lift it. So I lift it, they do.
Mirror neurons firing off. Yes. Monkey see, monkey do.
You feel like it's going to be a good day. Yeah.
Then comes the thought,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Then comes the thought, okay? Yeah. Anything else? Anybody happy?
Yeah.
That's an easy one. I like all of your descriptions way better, because that would be easy to say, oh, happy. Yeah, here's the thought. So the body's informing the brain, right? We didn't do anything other than turn up the corners of your mouth, and we all agreed together, and that's kind of nice too. Okay. So, and what difference this makes then is if the body is informing the brain, then we have a chance to move into greater coherence, greater connection, and move from blending sensation, emotion, and cognition, 3 levels of the self. We'll get into those another time. And to move from being disorganized to organized, or self-organized, or innately an organized, self-organizing intelligence, so many ways to say it, that there's something that's coherently, innately coherent in us, and then we have to just kind of search for it. And we learn that through Nia, and we learn it through yoga, and we learn it through a number of different methods. The emotion one is often missed though, right? What class do you know that gives you the opportunity to have a range of emotion within which to try and find your organization? Because humans are full of range of emotion. What other class besides Nia?
I was going to say Nia's the only one I've experienced like that.
Nia's the only one I know too that gives you the range. There's lots of woohoos and
Right.
things out there, but that's polarized towards one end. Anytime you polarize towards one end, what ends up happening? Pendulum swings. Eventually it ends up happening. Yeah, and so I always enjoyed Nia for that reason, for being able to be in that range of emotion, being able to digest and metabolize, so I can go from being fragmented and polarized into all my parts and pieces and really more coherently connected together. Yeah. Yes.
And I like the way it conditions that by switching quickly, the different energies, right? It's like you have to be in this energy and in that energy, and then soon enough the transition gets smoother and smoother, so then in real life when you're, in one mood or whatever, you can switch to the next moment if that's not the appropriate thing. That's my experience of Nia, anyway.
Right. No, it's so true. You get this cellular intelligence that you can move quickly rather than having to think about it. Yeah.
Practicing.
Yeah. Definitely. Yes,
I
Joyce.
think also it just creates awareness. I mean, if you can sense a change, and then recognize you're a part of that, and recognize the difference, then it's kind of a precursor to in training that a new way of being.
Yes, definitely. Yes. Sensing and feeling it.
But also feeling the difference.
And
recognizing and acknowledging the difference.
Yes.
Because I think oftentimes we live in a frame of reference where we don't think that there's an ability to change.
Yes, or that we have options.
Right.
Yes, yeah. And that is one of the hallmarks of trauma, by the way, is I don't have options anymore. I'm in this and I'm stuck in this. Yeah. Yeah. Great, the differences. All right.
I have a question or comment.
Yes.
I often hear, or maybe at some point during this, I heard you say that when you're working with someone that's traumatized, they are shut down maybe from, or disconnected from their emotions because that was the way. Survival or self-protection.
Yeah.
Do you ever see it the opposite, where they're completely in touch with their emotions, but maybe they're disconnected from their body?
Sure. Thank you.
Or
That's
somewhat. I mean, maybe you said that, but.
great question. You can be disconnected from sensation, disconnected from emotion, and disconnected from cognition. So you said sensation, Christina, talking about having the ability to change quickly. It's through sensing it. Joyce was talking more about cognition and having choice, and now you're talking about emotion. So
Right.
thank you, coherent group. This is fabulous. All parts showed up. So, yes, and of course you can be shut down, and you can also be in overdrive with emotion.
Right.
Overdrive with emotion would still be disconnected from it in some form. Yeah. Yes, often, not always, but often, yeah. It's the balance, it's the place in between where I'm actually metabolizing it, that I'm no longer polarized into something. When I'm polarized into something, I'm no longer digesting anymore. Did you ever see this pattern before?
Where is he?
The number 8, chosen for a particular reason almost 20 years ago, with this understanding of this wave pattern, that when we become this more wave pattern and not so strongly polarized into particular aspects of ourselves, that we become much more coherent and much more whole. Ergo, you see the circle around the 8 as well. So, anyways, any other questions or thoughts on that, Kathy?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, it's always you have a question that is going deep inside for you, I feel.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, well, no, I'm fine. It was related to me, of course, came from my
That's
son.
good.
But no, I was thinking about the 8, because 8 is my birthday, and 8 is my number. 108, 10/8 is my birthday, so I feel like when you were talking about that, I thought, oh, that's good, I have that.
Oh.
I know it's good, but it just felt validating or reaffirming.
10/8. 108 is the magic yogic number,
Yes, I
right?
know. I know, so,
Wow, it's a good number.
Okay. Thank you.